So the YouTube video ending in 3856, I titled EQ instead of IQ because I was told my IQ is 125, which is above average, but it's not, I don't think it's gifted level. And, that kind of burned me a little when I was younger and stuff, and burned me for years that I never got to go to medical school. And it took 20 years to get over that crap. Then I started learning things like about Laetrile and colloidal silver, and DMSO is in more recent years. And I realized if I were a medical doctor, I wouldn't have time to learn about what's going on in the alternative medicine world. You're dealing with patients, you're dealing with pharmaceutical salespeople, you're dealing with your office staff and budgets and stuff. You have to sort out office politics, which more often than not are a bunch of women. Good fucking luck. Anyway, whatever you think. Sometimes I like room temperature milk better than cold milk. This is shelf safe. It comes, you can store it room temperature, indefinitely in the proper temperature. You don't want it too hot or anything. But I've been drinking this today at room temperature and I like it. It goes down well. Now you are supposed to refrigerate it after you open it, but I let things sit out sometimes. I joke sometime at the other place I lived, the last place I lived, because Satanists would criticize me for leaving dairy products at room temperature for hours. And I said, well, me and God need the extra bacteria. I don't know if that's true, it was half joking, but maybe for some reason we're not getting enough gut bacteria in our food. That would make sense. We don't get our receptors fed like cannabinoid receptors in our body, which means we need cannabis. Our bodies need it, they're built for it. So the evil ones deprive us of what our bodies need, and then it may include not enough bacteria in our dairy products or in our meats or something. The weirdest thing, what Cordis was doing or gonna do, they were proposing to do it and proposal budgets and stuff, and in a small scale, I think they were actually doing it. So I'm wrong. They weren't just proposing doing it, but I think they were proposing doing it more to more products, irradiating them for sterilization. It sounds, at this exact moment, like they were irradiating pacemakers for sterilization. But pacemakers are made of metal. Maybe not entirely, it could be plastic and metal. It's like, why are you going to put irradiated metal in someone's chest? Pacemakers go above the left breast, like right here. And a lot of times if somebody is wearing no shirt, you can see the lump. It's about that big. That's how big a pacemaker was in 84. I'm not gonna say that. And I thought, you don't irradiate something to sterilize it, for Christ's sake. You steam it or something, you don't irradiate it. Jesus Christ. Now I think I understand. How do we introduce toxic levels of radiation into the human bodies of non-Satanists? To invent modern medicine. I sound like I know how everything works. But that's because I read every fucking book on the planet. They have taken away the Kennedys and given them back so many times. I almost regret ever hearing the name John F. Kennedy. But the Bible says if you aspire to serve the Lord, prepare yourself, be prepared for an ordeal. It's like, yeah, it's been one ordeal after another, and I'm 62 years old. But I have it on a reliable source that Satanists are going through a much worse ordeal, and theirs is going to last forever. So, if you aspire to cross the Lord, prepare yourself for an ordeal. So I know which, wait, what is it? I know which side of the bread, I know which side of the bread is the butter is on. There's a phrase, something like that. I know which side is buttered. I forget what it is. It's a phrase. So, I mean, if you hurt other people, you owe them fucking forever. They own you. You hurt somebody, you commit a crime against somebody. You can't get that out of your head. You live in there. You can't get that out of your head. So it's really enlightened self-interest, or selfishness, if you want to know the truth, to not commit a crime against anyone. Or, yeah, anyone. You hurt someone. They own a part of you. Lisa Nicholson owned a part of me for 30 years because I believed I hurt her by stealing her boyfriend when I was 15. And it was maybe within a year after, the collapse of the South Tower. Yeah, in the city of Zion and the collapse of the South Tower. But I realized, I never ever wanted to hurt Lisa. She was a nice, pleasant friend. I didn't like her boyfriend, Kenny. He wasn't attractive to me. I wasn't attracted to him. I didn't think Lisa was a dumb fuck. We would sit and have discussions on Polly's Island, depending on who it was. I had my, Jesus at the Temple meeting with the adults, mostly, in between the Nicholson's house and the White's house. Actually, I think I was 13 when I had it. Did I go with you the first summer you went? Maybe not. I would have been 12 going on 13. I would have turned 13 in February. I was 13 when I went. I went with them 2 or 3 times to Pawleys Island, South Carolina. They rented a home right on the beach. And those things cost a fucking fortune. It was it was an elegant wooden shack, is what it was, you know? But it's right on the beach, and it had 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. Where did Dean sleep? Did Dean go? Shit. Do I even know this? One, two, three. I think the house had 3 bedrooms, and that includes having turned the basement. Whoever owned the house, it wasn't the Nicholsons, they rented it. Turning the subfloor, because it was a raised house, turning subfloor into a bedroom. So anyway, us teenagers would have discussions sometimes at B and Bud's house down the beach. And Lisa would inevitably lay on the floor by Kenny's feet and fall asleep. And Wendy used to sit there and insult the fuck out of her. Or behind her back after. I'm not sure if she did it directly, thinking Lisa was asleep. But it was like, she is so dumb. She doesn't take part in any of these discussions. She just lays there by her boyfriend's feet and falls asleep. I didn't think Lisa was stupid. And I didn't question why she didn't include herself in the discussions. Maybe she didn't like that. It never even occurred to me. It's just that Lisa's curled up on the floor, you know? Maybe listening, maybe not. Anyway, they programmed me up the ass and down the side and all this kind of stuff. And I ended up by betraying Lisa, stealing Kenny from her, not even liking him. He wasn't even handsome to me. And Lisa had told me at Pawleys Island because Kenny was there with the Whites. And they were a boyfriend-girlfriend. She said he used to, climb up the post of the porch railing and come in her window at night while she and I were asleep in this, like, queen size bed. And crawl into bed with us. No, I didn't know that. That's what she said. But she said she thinks he's the one for her. So, you know, I couldn't fathom why. Because she was a pretty girl and she had some handsome boyfriends before and after that. Anyway, I stole this person that I wasn't attracted to. And, I apologized to her for it for 30 years. And in a way, you know, I never wanted to harm anybody my whole life. I just never did. But you know, I had stolen her boyfriend and betrayed her and all that crap. And it turns out the shoe was on the other foot. The whole thing was a setup for me to be programmed to steal Kenny for no apparent fucking reason. And betray my best friend. That's what Satanists do. They play how well you know the way in pursuit of love. They know how to torture people. I mean, they play emotional games with people's lives. I was looking at a different screen while I was saying all that. Okay. I'm gonna upload this and I'm gonna Call it E space open. Emotionally open, okay?